we'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So,
You lift me to new.
I did the unboxing for Let's Resin's newest cordless, rechargeable UV light not too long ago, right? But I realized that maybe I'm not being 100% fair because other than those cheap little crap lights that you get when you buy a UV resin kit, I have never used another brand actual real UV light to compare it to. So I thought we're going to do that today. I decided that I actually want to compare it with another UV light that is very similar to the Let's Resin one, right? Because I want to make the comparison fair. So I purchased this other UV light and I popped the brand name up on the screen just a minute ago because I want to compare and actually see, is Let's Resin's UV light better than any other one, or is it the same? So let's talk about these for a minute. So we know the Let's Resin one, you get your charging cord, you have the big base. This other brand, in both of them, you get 18 lights. Now, the difference between the lights are Let's Resin's lights are UV lights, and this other brand is LED light, okay? Let's Resin's is done over a wider base, and this other pink one is done in a narrower one, and it's slightly longer, while Let's Resin's is a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. However, they both have the same flexibility. They are both wireless, that both come with the USB to C cord. Now, a big difference in this is this pink one has an on and off switch. That's it. No timed, no anything. It's just, it stays on or it shuts off, while Let's Resin has 2, 3, 5, and 20-minute timers. They are both very compact. With the pink one, you get a small silicone mat, and you also get a piece that you can actually hang it on the wall if you so choose. Okay, we will get into the details on how they work here in the video a little bit farther down. Now, I told Let's Resin that I was going to do a comparison video and asked them if they could send me some molds to use and some of their UV resin, like their colored UV resin, to use in this. And I figured that, you know, if they stand behind their product, then they shouldn't have an issue with me doing a comparison video because they shouldn't be worried about it, right? Well, we're about to find out. So they did send me I think it's the pendant jewelry molds, which I absolutely love these molds. I had them once before a long time ago, and just using them over time, they have worn out and whatever. I don't think they are the Let's Resin brand, though. I think they were another brand. And then this is their 18 set color lights. Now they are color lights. No, they're not lights. They're colored UV resins. And you get 18 different colors. You get the caps that go on all of them. They are 20 milligram bottles, so they are on the smaller side. But you know, you get a lot of colors. So we're gonna see how this works. Now, I want to play with these nail foils again today. And we are going to make some jewelry, make some keychains, just make some stuff. And we're going to compare these lights and see which one works better, how Let's Resin's colored UV resin works, and if I can figure out these stupid nail foils. Now, if you've seen my video last time with the cross where I used the nail foils, I am doing them, but I'm doing them in a slightly different manner than how I did last time. So, we are going to speed through a lot of this because a lot of it is kind of like the same thing, but you don't need to see it in real time, like me pouring the bottom of the resin. Like I'm putting it in a thin layer, right? I'm going around with my silicone tool to get any bubbles from the 90-degree angles, and then I am going to pop it under the light. Now, I have the pink light turned on. You can't see it. It's on. I couldn't even see it, quite honestly, unless I was actually looking at the light. Because it didn't have a timer, I didn't have a timer on me, off to the side, I put the Let's Resin light on for 2 minutes so I would know exactly, okay, light has been on for 2 minutes and whatever. Now, the one thing that I did notice, and you can see right here, see how it's bobbing? The base on this is not heavy enough to actually hold it into place at an angle like it was. Like, I literally had to rest it on my table for it not to kind of bob and move and whatever. The other thing that I noticed, and I just put it in for 2 minutes, okay? Now, at this point, I haven't done the bottom of these. I will cure the bottom for 5 minutes after everything's said and done. I'm not going to waste my time doing it right now. I will do it then. But I am doing 2 minutes, which is all I'm going to do when I use the Let's Resin one. 2 minutes, see how it works. And I do the same thing. I started up kind of on the higher side, right? To get it to start to cure, to help reduce shrinkage, reduce the waviness that you can get, those kind of uneven, layers that happen when it cures too fast, and then push it down closer. Now, as you can see, I showed you before, and I will show you again with the pink one, it doesn't matter. It finishes kind of like wavy every single time I used that machine to cure it. So, spoiler alert, see, you can see the waviness every single time, every time. So really, I use it a little bit more here and there in this video, but I'm going to be honest, I did not want every piece to come out like complete and utter crap and waste all of the product and whatever. So I stopped. I stopped because I will tell you right now that that light is 1,000% inferior to the Let's Resin light. Now, the pink one that I purchased was like $20.99 on Amazon or something like that. I'll link it below just because, but I'm going to tell you that it is not a good light whatsoever. Those cheap little crappy lights that you get, the little nail lights that you get when you buy like the kits, the UV resin kits, that the little starter kits, and they give you that little teeny baby light, that worked better than this pink light did. Like, it was complete and utter waste of money. And I checked today on Let's Resin's website. Their light was on sale for $31.99. Let me tell you, the extra $11 is worth it. It's worth it in the end, where this light it's just garbage. Like, you can't even tell it's on. Like, you can't. It's just complete and utter crap. I definitely would not recommend anyone purchasing that light whatsoever. And I looked up the difference between what a actual UV light is as opposed to an LED light. And on Google, it said that LED lights were supposed to be better. They're supposed to be better for the whole, like, especially if your skin's under it and whatever, like for your body and cancer and all that stuff. It's supposed to be better. But it also says that the LED lights are supposed to be more powerful and supposedly cure faster than a UV light. Now, this was talking in regards to nails, and I don't know if that necessarily makes a difference because I don't do my nails. So I don't know, but that is what the website said. And you can see using the Let's Resin one, I didn't get any of the waves on top. Let's Resin has the UV light, and I'm telling you, you can see the light, it's more powerful. It cures it way, way better. The base is actually stable so that no matter what position I put that light in, I don't have to worry about it falling over, right? Other than that, as far as it being compact, adjustable height, the cord, the charge time, all of that stuff is the same. But let's be real, the light is what really matters, and that other light is garbage. All right, on to the project. Now, the next step, what I am doing is deciding which one of these nail foils I think will look best with the colors that I picked. Now, I did do all of the colors in the UV color kit. So we do have 18 of them. and we're just going to play around with it. Now I'm not doing like completely covered. I'm not doing the same for each thing. I'm going to do them all differently, right? So that we have 18 different pieces. Now this is going to take quite a while. This took me the course of pretty much 3, maybe 4 days to completely finish. So I've got them all picked out. Now, I know that a lot of people do it with UV resin when it's sticky and all of that and whatever, but the gilding glue worked for me last time, and I've never had much luck with these foils, so we're just going to go the gilding glue route again, and that's how we're going to apply them. Now, I don't know, I know that you're supposed to be able to rub and transfer them on to a sticky surface, so we'll see. But I am just putting the gilding glue kind of however I decide that I want to do it, letting it dry until it's completely clear. So now it's tacky. Now it's time to lay these pieces down, rub them on, and in theory, they should come off. Correct? Like that's how these are supposed to be used to my knowledge. However, I don't know if they just don't like me or if there's a trick to it that I haven't mastered yet, but that looks like crap. Like it didn't all come off. It's spotty and blotchy and garbage, but we'll try it again. This time we're gonna use, this is actually the tool that you get with the Let's Resin, the big mixer, so you can clean off your cups. And I thought, well, maybe if I applied it with even firm pressure with that, it would work. It doesn't work. This time I actually was going to just leave the foil on there and cut off the excess, but it ended up ripping off. So yeah, we're not using those 3. And I'm not going to recast them again because I've got 15 more pieces still. That's a lot. So because it didn't work trying to pull it off, I'm not going to waste any more product or my time doing it that way. I am just going to use the adhesive as a glue and glue these down wherever I put the gilding glue. And then cut off the excess, leaving an edge around the side so that the resin has something to adhere to. And we're just going to go through doing that with each and every one of these until we are done. Now, at this point, I'm not going to talk you through it. I just told you what I was doing. I'm just going to fast forward and go through this part pretty fast. And then I'm going to come back when we're ready to do the next bit, and I will talk you guys through that. But before I jump off here, I just want to show you the difference between the two. Like this is me just laying it down, gluing it down, and then on the right-hand side is me pulling it up. So completely different. Those ones are way better. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to bounce now, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. All right, I'm back. Now, that part, it did take a super long time to do, and I've got mixed feelings on it. Like some of them I like, some of them I don't know. But what I want to do now is we got to add some sparkle to these. So what I'm doing is I went through all my glitters, all my sparkly everything, and picked out what I want to use for each and every one of these. And I just took a little bit of Let's Resin's clear UV resin, mixed it in with my glitter, and just along the edge or just wherever it is that I decide that I want to put it for each particular piece, I am just applying it right there. I only used a tiny bit because I don't want it to go everywhere. I don't want it to, take over the whole piece. And I'm just going to cure it just like that. So, like with the green one, there's that glitter around the edge. Like I didn't fill up the center. We're going to come back to that. We're doing this in multiple steps so that we get some layers, we get some effects and all of this and get some dimension in these pieces. Now, with this one, I decided black glass was the way that I wanted to go. Started putting it around the outer edge of it, and it was like, nah, like, no. It's covering up all of the flowers. Like, I don't want the foils that I put down to be hidden. I put way too much work and time into this to hide everything that I just did. So I took most of it out and just put it along the top because I do want to hide the edges, especially where my cuts aren't very good. They're not straight or the foil ripped or whatever. So I do want to hide a lot of that, but we'll find other ways to do it. So that's all I'm going to do right now. And I am just taking it, like I said, piece by piece, figuring out how I want to add it. Some of them I did go and change because I had so much black glass left and I didn't want to waste it. So I did end up adding the black glass to a couple other pieces that I didn't initially intend on adding it to, just so that I didn't waste it. And then if you see, I have that one blank mold that I threw some of the glass in. I'm just going to make a everything that's left over piece out of that one. And we'll just see. Kind of like how you do your drip pours with your leftover epoxy. Kind of like that, but with UV resin. And we'll just see what happens. I mean, it could turn out cool. It could turn out hideous. I don't know. We'll get there when we get there and see what I don't know. I don't know. All right. At this point, I'm going to bounce off here and then I will be back when we are ready for the next step. All right, last one being finished up. Now it is time to fill these with clear epoxy. No, with clear UV resin. And then we can move on to actually embellishing. Okay, so now with this, because some of them are a little bit thinner than others, due to the fact that either I initially, when I poured the colored UV resin in, maybe I made it thicker or whatever, or just with the add-ins that I added in already, made it so that I have less space. You want to be careful because if you put too much UV resin and it's too deep, you can get those wavy lines that we had talked about earlier as it cures. So definitely make sure if you are doing a thicker layer that you start your light up. If you don't have an adjustable wattage on it, start it up farther away from it. And then after it cures for about a minute or so, then bring it down close, because by that point you shouldn't get a lot of the shrinkage and the wavy lines and you should be okay. Um, I did do that. Now, some of them, because they were super thin, I did do in 2 steps, and I did 2 different layers on them of the clear UV resin. And I did try, because I'm also fighting against my window with the UV light that comes in. So I have to be careful and work fast because it starts to cure my resin super, super quick. I haven't done anything with to put any kind of like UV blocker on my window yet. Looked into it. I just haven't actually done it because I can't find exactly what I'm looking for. Now, this green one, I did I wasn't loving all of the glitter around it. So I thought, well, maybe if I go in half and half, put some of that green UV resin back in there with some clear, we'll get a different look. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I thought I recorded me going and curing the back of them. I did flip them all over and put them under the light, under both lights for a good 5 minutes, just so that the backs were not sticky, just to make sure that it cured all the way through, because some of these are a little bit more opaque than others as far as the colored UV resin goes. And now I'm just demolding them all. Now, these are not by any means finished. We are adding some more beautifulness to them. And I'm going to be honest at this point, there's a few that I like, but I'm not in love with any of these. And after pulling them out and looking at them, all right. So as I kind of go through the process of cleaning them off, I don't necessarily care for working with UV resin in general. Not to make entire pieces like this. I prefer working with epoxy all day long, including making jewelry. I would much rather work with epoxy than UV resin because of the shrinkage you get, especially if you're like this, especially when you are using molds. And like, it's one thing if it's an open back bezel, I don't mind it quite so much. It's a little bit easier and whatever. But when you're using molds, it tends to, around the edges, you get craters, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, and I'm struggling with most of these pieces having big, huge holes in them. So my thought process for this and how to fix it is I'm gonna do a flood coat with epoxy after I'm done with all my embellishments. And hopefully, once it goes along the sides and I rub it along the sides, that will fix the holes that are in there. I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't feel like UV resin is the way to go for that. All right, now it's time to go through these and embellish each one. I decided that for some of the ones that I have a lot of black in, I'm just going to go with my oil-based paint pen and either cover the entire side or just do along the edge depending on the piece. The first one I used didn't work, so I think that's this one. I didn't want to go over it for some reason. It went over the top part just fine, but not around the side. So I found another one that worked out better. Um, I'm not going to do this to all of them. I am going to go in there with rhinestones or charms, or I even used some washi stickers, like the PET stickers, because I I just want to embellish them a little bit more and make them look better than what they do now. So I've got everything all picked out, and for today, to glue on the rhinestones, I got some of the liquid fusion, and let me just tell you, that stuff is so much better than the diamond glaze. It is so much better than that Fragment Effects glass binder that I've been using. It's actually like thick and gloopy. Not gloopy, like you can squeeze it out of a needle nose bottle, but it's thick so you can put it down and it doesn't run all over the place. It's amazing. Like, now I know why it's a little bit more expensive. See, I was trying to go the cheaper route with it, and it makes a difference. And now I'm not saying that the diamond glaze, like, I've never had any problems with it other than the fact that it's a little bit more on the watery side compared to this, but it does definitely serve a purpose. So, if you don't want to spend, because I think it was like $13 or $14 that I paid for the liquid fusion. If you don't want to spend that much money, diamond glaze is the way to go. It's maybe not a lot cheaper. I don't know. I bought mine a while ago, but the bottle top always gets clogged. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this one. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, and then if it's something that's super big, like on the kind of teal looking one that looks like it has abalone shell on the bottom, I have these tiles that I just got. They're glass tiles. For that and for the dolphin, I'm going to use some E6000 because it's going to be a stronger bond and I don't have to worry about it falling off because those pieces are heavier than your typical rhinestone. Either way, I am doing a flood coat, so really it's not going to make a huge difference. The only one that I don't do a flood coat on is the one with the dolphin, and that is because that is the only piece that turned out like absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it, so there's no reason to actually go and do a flood coat. But the rest of them, they're all getting one. And hopefully that'll fix the issues that I have. I don't know. Now, that being said, when I do the flood coat, obviously I can't go over top of the rhinestones because that'll ruin the entire effect of them. So I do have to be careful, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. All right, so I'm just going to let you kind of watch the process of this, and then I will be back when we are ready to. Actually, I'm not. The next step after this is I'm just going to put some Elmer's glue on the back of them and let them dry for a few hours. And that's just normal Elmer's glue, just on the back, not on the sides, because I want the resin to go over the sides and fill in those holes that I was telling you about. So I'm going to do that, finish this up, do the glue, and then I'll be back when we're ready for the top coat. I will catch you guys then.
On, ready to pour, but resin stuck all over the floor. My masterpiece stuck like a scab. This wasn't quite the fun I had. Mixed it wrong, forgot the stir. Now it's sticky, kind of like fur. The colors blend, they blur and fight. It's a resin mess, a sorry sight. Oops, I did it, not again. Sculpting fails with every bend. Resin dreams, they turn to rust. Creative mess in resin dust. Tried to shape a crystal clear. Instead it's cloudy like a smeared tear. Waves and swirls of tragic goo. My resin love, what did I do? Oops, I did it, not again. Sculpting fails with every bend. Resin dreams, they turn to rust. Creative mess in resin dust. Tried to shape a crystal clear. Instead it's cloudy like a smeared tear. Waves and swirls of tragic goo. My resin love, what did I do? Bubbles trapped, they don't subside. Looks like worms trapped inside. Tried to polish, fix with grace, but it's a sticky resin case. Oops, I did it, not again. Sculpting fails with every bend. Resin dreams, they turn to rust. Creative mess in resin dust. Bubbles trapped, they don't subside. Looks like worms trapped inside. Tried to polish, fix with grace, but it's a sticky resin case. Yes. Arms in resin flow, gentle colors bright. With every pore I show beauty in the light. Patterns swirl and dance, captured in the frame. In every piece a chance to never look the same. Resin dreams take flight in the calm of night. Through the daylight's glow, art begins to grow. Ocean waves in blue, mountains made of gold, stories through and through, resin tales unfold. Every pore feels new, creation feels so true. Minutes turning hours, resin blooms like flowers. Resin dreams take flight in the calm of night. Through the daylight's glow, art begins to grow. In blue, mountains made of gold, stories through and through, resin tales unfold.
Every core feels new, creation feels so true. Minutes turning hours, resin blooms like flowers. Every pore feels new, creation feels so
Okay,
true.
so each one of these got a really good, nice layer of Elmer's glue on the back of them. I did make sure that I wiped the sides with my fingers if I seen that I went over. Let that dry. Now I've got them all up on little plastic cups, except for that tiny little one. My fear is that because they're all so small and I didn't necessarily think about this ahead of time, that I'm doing a flood coat, so it's going to flow over, and I don't want them to get resined to the cup. So I'm kind of a little worried about that. I've never actually flood coated something this small before, so we'll see. Now, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and for this, because of the time, and I'm sorry it's a little bit darker than normal, I was doing this late at night, and typically I only record during the day, so I don't have the sunlight coming in from the window, so my lighting's a little off. But I decided for time wise, because I needed to get this done. I'm over working on this now. Like it's been so many days that I wanted to use fast cure resin for it, which probably maybe wasn't the best thing to do. I thought that because it was on the thicker side, kind of like what your tabletop, your coating resin would be, which is what you would typically use for a top coat, right? I thought that it would be better. I don't know. Not after I see the results. I'm not sure that this was necessarily the right way. Or maybe it was just the application and how I did it, or it just wasn't gonna work anyway. Like I don't know. I really don't know. But I did mix up a little bit. It's super bubbly because I didn't really take my time. I'm not that worried about the bubbles, honestly, because I am doing such a thin coat and I'm blasting it with my heat gun that it's going to pop any bubbles that are in there anyway. So I'm taking some and I'm drizzling it on around the rhinestones with a popsicle stick, and that is because I don't want to cover the rhinestones, right? So I can't go too high. I need to go around them. And then I'm hitting it with the heat gun because it's going to thin it out a little bit more and hopefully make it a little bit more flowy so that it'll flow down the sides. But I am dipping my finger in it and rubbing it along the side of each one of them to make sure that the sides are completely covered. It's going to seal in the paint pen that I put on there. So it's kind of working in two ways. And like I said, hopefully it'll help fill in some of those cracks and make it smooth. I don't know. Usually if I get cracks like that on a piece, I end up garbaging it. So we'll see. We'll see. But I am taking my time. This did take a while to do because there's so many pieces and it was such a sticky mess. Oh, I hate being sticky. Like it's one of my things. Ugh. But yeah, so sticky mess was not, I was getting I was getting the resin everywhere, including on the bottoms of them. So I honestly wasn't even sure because of how much resin was going all over the place if I was even going to be able to get the glue off the back. So like it was a whole thing. It really was a whole thing. Now, as far as looks go, if you take away the craters that I got there, I am liking them much more now that I've put on the rhinestones and kind of finished them off a little bit. I think they look a lot better than they do. I do have my favorites. The dolphin is up there, which obviously it's not here now because it doesn't need a top coat. The dolphin is one of my favorites. I actually like that green one with the white flower on it. That was one of my least favorites for a while. And then once that I put that washi sticker on there, oh my god, it like I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces now. That one, the one with the silver rhinestones going all the way around and the white flowers, the red one, and the other one that kind of looks like a rainbow. They're favorites of mine. All right, so I had a little bit of resin left over and I just threw it into my Into Resin flower mold and added a little bit of alcohol ink just because why not? I mean, it turned out beautiful. It always turns out beautiful. All right, this is my favorite. Love it. Now it's time to just peel off the glue and I'm going to be honest with you, like this was the best thing. It came off. I had no issues whatsoever. I do like this one a lot too. Absolutely wonderful in how it came off. Didn't have any bits stuck that it shouldn't have been. Great. However, that being said, the resin didn't do what I wanted it to do. It did not fill in the craters. In fact, on some of them, it made it worse. I don't know if I did a bad job when I rubbed it around or what. This one, I evidently didn't. It wasn't level sitting on the cup because you can see how it gets it's just the clear coat just didn't, I don't know. But some of them, like this one in particular, was really bad. Like it actually had drips on the side that cured like that. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. But we're gonna finish them off, and some of them I might have on my eBay store. Some of them not so much. If there's one that somebody wants, let me know, and we can figure it out from there. But I don't know. We're gonna do some keychains with some of them, and then some of them we're gonna put some pinch bales on it. Now I will have to go through with my drill and drill out the holes on each one of these because I covered them up from the beginning. Like from the UV resin, they were covered. So I do have to re-go through those holes and re-drill them, but that's not a big issue. That's probably the easiest thing out of any of the stuff that I did on this project. Anyway, I'm going to go through that. We're going to go put on all the findings and the charms and all that good stuff. And there's no real reason for me to come back. You can just kind of watch me finish it off. I mean, it's nothing like that really needs to get talked through. let's go back and just re-talk about the lights, because that was the whole purpose of this video from the get. So we're going to go over the pros and cons of each one. So for the Let's Resin light, the pros are it's got 18 UV lights. It has a 4-hour charge time that it actually holds. You can use it both cordless and corded. Comes with a USB-C cord, which is nice because it can go into any adapter and you don't have to buy a special plug-in if you live overseas or whatever. You can just use that and put it into one of the little bricks and you're good to go. It comes with directions, it's compact, and it is adjustable. Cons, I can't think of any cons for it at all. Like, I really truly can't. It works fantastically. It also has 4 different timers on it: 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, and 20 minute. So it's great. It is. Now, the other one, the pink one. Pros, it's got a 3-hour charge time. You can use it both cordless and wireless. It does have a wall mount, which, depending on your situation, could be good. It has 18 lights. It is compact. It does have an adjustable height. It does come with a USB-C cord. Now, for the cons, it does not come with directions. The lights are not bright. They are LED lights, but they are not bright, and it does not cure very well at all. The actual way that it is balanced, like, it's not balanced. The entire body of it always the same going across, so it's not heavier on the bottom, so that when you are using it stretched out more or at a different angle, it does tip over, which is unfortunate. And it's not good. It's not good in any manner of speaking. It's just not. I guess it comes in 2 different colors. If you want to put that as a pro, it comes in white and pink. But yeah, I honestly wouldn't waste your money on it. Don't do it. I just wasted $21, so like that kind of sucks. I was hoping at least, you know, if it was up there close to the Let's Resin one, I would have another UV light to use, not just something that I'm just going to end up trashing because it is complete and utter garbage. Okay. Anyway, that is a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Saturday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Blue elephant is strong. Together we belong. In every comment right, you lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue elephant crew, this one's up for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care. Likes and shares, they grow. You make the channel glow. Every single view, I owe it all to you. Blue elephant crew, this one's up for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care.